I promised to make an instructional video for hair teasing and stuff, and I did it because it was a while ago that I made that promise. It's really easy if you know what you're doing. You will need a few things. Comb. Any kind will do that has the fine teeth. This is the kind I use like from the $3 pack at Walmart. Hairspray. It's necessary. I get the cheap kind that's like the Element Extreme Hold 10, like $3. Go get it. So the first thing you need to do is curl your hair. Make sure it's dry, and you want to curl it beforehand, because once you tease your hair, it's going to be a lot harder to curl it and get every piece and get it the way you want it, because it's going to be hairspray and you're going to get those dents from your curling iron, because I want to. So the first thing you want to do, curl your hair, make sure it's curled the way you want it. I banged around them, so I'll still fix those later. So you're going to make a section close to the crown of your head. I just cut it off with my nails, and I try to remember like the top point of my head where my part ends. So just from there, that's the back portion. So kind of small, but you want it kind of the width. If you want it wider, you can go wider. There's your section. Right there. You're going to gather it. You want to make sure it's even across the front, because if you have it uneven in the front but even in the back, it's going to look really funky. And you are going to first spray just a little bit, not too much. You just want it to have a little bit of foundation, and then you are going to tease it a few times. You just want to provide a good foundation for your tease, so it's just going to be like slowly building as you tease. So you're going to start from here up where you're holding the section of hair and just pull it down. And there's one. You want to make sure you can see where it's gathering at the bottom, and then you just tease it as many times as you want. I tease it like 10 times, and then because you're going to comb it out later and make it more structured. So that's what you want it to look like. It'll look kind of funky at first, but you'll fix it later. Okay, and then you spray. It doesn't have to look pretty. It shouldn't look pretty. And then you're going to do it again. You're going to move towards the front of your head. And you don't want to grab too much hair. Like, you can tell when it's too thick, because you want to, if it's too thick, you're not going to tease it all the way to the front, and then it's going to look funny and you're going to have to re-tease it. Make sure you don't grab too big of a section. First time using webcam, sorry. So this is your initial little foundation, and then you're just going to make sure it's more sturdy. And you're just going to leave it. Once you spray it, after you tease it, you're just going to leave it. And you're going to let the hairspray dry. You can use like a blow dryer on cold, like the cold setting, if you want to. I mean, it works the same, but I don't like to do that just because sometimes when you use it, it doesn't make your hairspray dry all the way, and you still have to like sit and let it dry. Because if you try to comb it out when the hairspray is still wet, you're not going to hold your teeth at all, and it's going to look funky after a couple hours. So you don't want to do that. Sorry, I'm in my mirror. You kind of want to make sure there's no like hole. Like I have a big hole right here. You don't want that. You're gonna repeat this whole part. Because the overall goal is to be able to have a shape later on. And you can't do that if there's like gaps better. And then as you get towards the front, I have bangs that are to the side, and it helps if I kind of tease a section that's like to the side, and then I can make a point like in my head where it circulates around, like poof needs to circulate around the central point. If you're gonna wear bangs, this is the way I do mine. So. Find what works for you. Sometimes like the little hairs will like fall out and you have to gather the section again. That's normal. Sometimes like you'll get like little pieces of your bang like stuck in the little section you're trying to poof. And that's okay, you can incorporate it into the poof overall. But they don't always stay. Because I know mine don't always stay. Letting the hairspray dry. See, by now it's already dry on like the back section, so those will be easier to work with. It's just easier to work with your hair when it's the hairspray dry. Then other little front section. Sorry for the random music. If it's too distracting, I'll change it, the song, but otherwise I just let it play. Okay. This is going to be what it looks like after you tease it. And you just want to hairspray, hairspray, hairspray. And then what I need to do, because I have fine hair, I need to do like an under section, otherwise it looks funny. Like, I just look like a mushroom if I don't like even out the volume from big poofy to not so poofy. Okay. So I do like a little under section. Once the whole top part is teased, I just go along the bottom and pick out like a little section. And I tease it, not as much as the top, but I tease it a little bit. Like 5 teeth. Just like that. Kind of looks like a fountain. Here's the big stick. Then I do it on the other side. It's okay if this little section, it kind of incorporates into the rest of your hair, just as long as you're teasing it from the back. If you tease it from the front, it's going to put the ugly part of the tease in the front. And then when you comb it out, you're just going to comb out all the structure of what you've been trying to do. See how crazy it looks? That's how it's supposed to look. If your hair doesn't look crazy while you're trying to tease it, you are not being successful, and you need to start over because you need to fix your stuff. Okay, so this is what it should look like. Some variation of this. Hairspray, hairspray. Then you kind of want to start like pulling it down, just like with your fingers, just like kind of like running your fingers through it, just getting like more of a shape to it, a little bit more to where you can see what the volume is going to look like. It's just you're taming it a little bit. It's going to look like that. Hairspray a little more. I use a lot of hairspray because my hair is fine and it doesn't always hold the tease, so I need a lot. I probably could use less, but I don't. Then you're going to go back with the same comb you used. You can use either side. I use the same side I used to do it. And just run it along the top and get those like little knots that are along the top layer that are hairsprayed in place. I'm going to go through it and just smooth it out. And this should be finished product. See? Big, beautiful hair. You can kind of, on the back, you're just going to kind of smooth it over with your fingers unless you feel like it's too knotted and you need to go through it with a comb. Just be mindful that you don't do it too much because the bottom of your tease is going to be like your foundation. And you really want to make sure that you have a strong foundation. Because once that goes, your poof's done. Like, it won't stay up if it doesn't have, like, that support on the back. So, hopefully, you will have something like this. Over. And like I said, this comes with practice. You have to trial and error it as much as you can because everybody's hair is different. It's not going to turn out the same every time even that you do your hair. There's a lot of factors that are involved. Often, like the other products that you're using will play a large part. Okay. So then, after you're done, I still have a funky. I always have a funky. Can't help it. Okay. So after that, you're just going to give it one final spray. You're just going to kind of push it into place with your finger. And smooth it over. You want to go up into it with your fingertips and just like smoosh it a little bit. Like bombshell-y kind of style. I always get these funny little pieces that don't tease. Probably because they're my dog. This is your finished product. I hope this was helpful to all those that are challenged in the arena of teasing. And it just takes a little bit of trial and error. See, like that big scary poof turned out not so big and scary after all. So, I hope this was helpful. Sorry it took me so long. I'm kind of busy, but let me know what you think. This video. Bye.